Alright guys, well, this is kind of the later pickup video of the header review. Headers have been okay. They've created quite a bit of heat, but nothing dangerous. Honestly, the hottest this thing is getting like 212, 209, 207. We hardwired this fan to kick on at like 205, 206, so it kicks on, goes up to maybe 212. Again, it's South Florida in the dead heat of summer, so it's hot. But as soon as that fan kicks on, it just takes a little bit and then it comes back down. But I haven't done a first start yet. One other thing I'll say is my air intake, which is this front left corner here. When you turbo the car, I think there's a better place to put the air intake. When you supercharge this car, the supercharger goes right there, right in the front left, right where that intake would go. So you have to take some extra elbows, some 45s, and just duck it down a little bit. So now it's ducked down. Now it's kind of in front of the bumper. It's not getting great, air coverage. And so one of these brake ducts, they have these ducts in the front bumper there, and they have these ducts that go. You can aim them at your front discs. Those were taken off the car along with this front wheel well. So what I had on the car before was a bad exhaust manifold, or not bad, but the stock one, and then a stock, not a stock, but an old shitty air intake that has been beaten up. I've cleaned it 4 or 5 times, and there's stuck down in this corner, and then this wheel is just slinging this shit on it. And so the two kind of complemented each other. It was okay. I haven't had this thing tuned in years, but I think it's a good tune. It's from RK Tunes, and so once I put the headers on, this thing is trying to exhaust really fast. It's trying to exhale really fast, and it needs a big gulp of air. Boy, I looked at this air intake today, and it was disgusting. Damn, I should have taken a picture of it. It was jammed down there. This was frayed. It was like shoved up against a hard metal part, and frayed and just nasty. Anyways, I got a new one today from Spectre, which was a cheap company. It was $30. I just got the cone, the chondrical, whatever the heck they call it. Got one that wasn't quite as long. It was a little bit shorter, but pretty much the same circumference, and it sits much nicer in there. And I took a piece of wheel well that was thrown in with the car, and it was after it came off one day, and it's for the passenger side, so I literally flipped it around, like turned it upside down, and just cut a section out to just get it in front of that air intake that's right there, and I'll show you that later. But here's the first startup that you guys have not heard. So headers and new intake. That was peppy. That was real peppy. That was even peppier than when I had it before and I didn't do the so obviously you see the supercharger there, and that's where the intake should go, and of course this is here now, and so it has to be stuck down in there. Let's see if I can get some better lighting. See that cone? She's down in there pretty good, but she's nice and covered. And what I didn't have before with this close ass wheel was some coverage. And if you can see that piece of plastic that's in there now, let's see, I have that there now, that piece of plastic in front. I didn't have that before in front. So when this thing was spinning, even if it wasn't slinging a bunch of stuff onto the intake, which I'm sure it was, it's also creating kind of a hard it's certainly not a vacuum, but it's creating a lot of wind that's like pulling away from this intake that's trying to suck air in. And so just by covering it a little bit, this thing sounds peppier already. She sounds good, man. She sounds real good. I'm happy I put that little piece there, and that brand new Spectre intake is it's a company apparently bought by K&N. So it's like K&N's like blue collar, you know, version of K&N called Spectre, like the Bond movie. And dude, that is peppier. It was definitely more of a lag. There was definitely more of a lag. There's no lag now. This thing is getting air as soon as I need it to. That's as soon as I need it to. Holy shit. Wow. I think that's going to be a huge difference. Oh, I'm very happy. Oh, I'm very happy right now. Well, I'll leave it for another video to take this thing out for a spin. But I'm telling you right now, that thing is getting a nice big gulp of air as soon as I need it to. And that was not happening before. So it's now inhaling as fast as it wants to, and it's exhaling as fast as it wants to with those headers. And boy, this thing is turning into a good monster, dude. I still got to get this thing tinted, but I love the no tint. It's just like race car. You know what I mean? It's just pure, dude. It's so pure. So if I can make it through the dead heat of summer with no tint, honestly, in January, February, March, when, you know, it's the busy season down here, everyone's driving around, having this thing just nice and clean. I got to clean these windows up a little bit, but just having this thing nice and clean. Got that new front molding, and I got the Euro GT splitter. Let me know what you think about that. I don't know if you could see it real well right there, but it's essentially that splitter that's right there. It was super cheap. I just needed something to bring my eye level down a little bit on the side of the car, you know what I mean? And it brought it down just a little bit. That's all I really wanted, you know? Man, she looks great. And she's running great right now, so more to come. I'll give a nice driving experience, and I'll try and get a better camera with some better audio there for Debo, my buddy who bought me the headers. Nice birthday present and Christmas present. Thanks, buddy. More to come.